Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm from Ukraine and I vlog daily to keep you updated on the real-life situation in my country, Ukraine, as this war continues and our victory approaches us faster. I'm sure we will win and I'm really grateful for the support that you demonstrate, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe because I believe the world needs to know more about Ukraine, our history, culture, and of course this war that is so unjust but at the same time so important for the victory of normalcy and democracy. Today we celebrate two holidays in Ukraine, and one is pretty new for us because previously we celebrated St. Nicholas Day on the 19th of December as we live to the older calendar. But after the positive changes and independence of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, we were allowed to choose and follow the calendar which we like better. And of course, the majority of the Ukrainians understanding that we don't know the precise day of Christmas or the precise day of Easter, or as my clever religious friend says, we can celebrate the birth of Jesus or his resurrection every day. So it's not that much about the particular date, but most important about the unity and celebration with the rest of the world. So this year, me and my family, we plan to celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December, not on the 7th of January. Maybe we will have some minor things on the 7th of January to commemorate the way it was, but even the previous year we have already tried to celebrate it on the 25th of December. But about Christmas things we will talk a little bit later. So if we're switching to this new calendar, many Ukrainian children received presents from St. Nicholas today. And I also know there is a tradition to write letters to St. Nicholas asking for presents, and I think that thousands of them asked for HIMARS and other useful stuff that can help us protect Ukraine. What is also important, the president of Ukraine visited Donbass because of the another holiday that we celebrate today. On the 6th of December, we celebrate the Day of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. And if before the war it is more about those who were soldiers, who were connected to the military career, nowadays it is a really big holiday in Ukraine, and you can see lots of interesting postcards, memes all over Facebook. I don't know if you know that, but in Ukraine somehow we often compare the representatives of Ukrainian armed forces with the cats, kotiki. Because many of them were saving kittens, and there were lots of cute photos. And also when many of them are photographed, but for the security reasons we want to hide their faces, these faces are hidden with cat emojis, and this is cute. So President Zelensky was not afraid of visiting front lines. It is not his first or second time. He does it all the time. And compare him to Putin. Putin was recently staying in one of his bunkers because he had to conduct this National Security Council or something like that. Because they have problems. Actually, they have serious global problems they do not discuss, like the fall of the Russian Empire, totally brainwashed, poor and like weird society, isolation, sanctions and all whatnot, but they prefer to talk about problems on the surface, and these beautiful problems on the surface are explosions in various locations of Russia on their airfields. And like we never know if it is the work of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, but it very much may be. So speaking of one of his bunkers and talking to screens because he's afraid of real people, Putin was very much concerned about the fact that these explosions took place not only in the cities and on the airfields that are close to Ukrainian border, but also somewhere in the heart of Russia. So what happened? The first explosions happened on the 5th of December in Saratov region and in Ryazan, which are far away, deep into Russia. They were caused by drones that somehow got to these airfields, military airports, and managed to cause some damages. It seems to me that even 3 people died on one of these military airports, like military people. On the very next day, today, on the 6th of December, 2 more explosions took place. One was in Kursk and another was in Bryansk. It seems to me that in Kursk it was also an airfield, I may be mistaken, and some kind of factory in Bryansk, which is dangerous right now for orcs, because finally they feel that they are vulnerable. And this myth of invincible Russia and invincible Russian army is very, very quickly destroyed by the Ukrainian Armed Forces. And what is also important when we speak about those drones that caused explosions in distant regions of Russia, it is very likely that they were coordinated from the ground, which means that there are people, Ukrainian people or people supporting Ukraine, who help to coordinate such operations. And it all resulted in fires. In some cases, the damage was serious. In other cases, it was minor. But panic and dissatisfaction is present in Russian society for a pretty long period of time. I honestly think that we have to be allowed to target Russian military objects with HIMARS and other long-distance missiles. Why? Because they have declared war on Ukraine. They destroy everything on our territory. And if we know that we can prevent the next missile attack, for example, save thousands and hundreds of Ukrainians' lives, why can't we ruin their military airfields, their missile bases, and Putin's bunker? I think that this would be honest. You can be 100% confident that Ukrainians are not orc, and despite the fact that in Russian social media, when you read their comments of ordinary Russians, when you see at the level of support this special military operation has in Russia, despite all of this negativity and hatred present in their traumatized society, Ukrainian armed forces would never target civilian objects. Any houses, any schools, any, hospitals, something similar that they do in Ukraine, we would never do, because we don't want to be like Russians. And we understand that in this case, this is terrorism. Terrorism and protection of your own territory are two very different things. So if we were given this permission, if we were given this kind of weapons, believe me, no one would shoot at a Russian kindergarten or something like that, because this is totally wrong. And whether you believe in God or not, it's a sin. And Ukrainians would never do that, especially knowing how tragic all of that is. And we demonstrate that daily in our attitudes to the prisoners of war, captured Russians, and other things. We give them medical help in our military hospitals, So I think we have all the right to destroy military objects on the territory of Russia. Also Putin's bunker and Kremlin. Tourists can suffer, you tell me, and I think normal people are not tourists to Kremlin right now during this war in Ukraine. After liberation of Russia, fall of Putin's regime, maybe we can meet there as a museum of totalitarianism. Maybe even I will be ready to come and see that. But on that meeting from his bunker, Putin declared the yellow level of terrorist attack danger or something like that. And in Bryansk and in Kursk, children are not advised to go to school. I can guarantee you that children are safe in Russian schools from this military perspective, but they are in great danger taking into account what information is put into their heads in that Russian school. So maybe 2 weeks without Russian propaganda aren't that bad. Thank you very much for watching. If you know anyone from the Ukrainian Armed Forces, do congratulate these people. Also, for those of you who celebrate St. Nicholas Day, may it bring peace, but only after victory, and many good positive things beneath your pillows. Because in Ukraine, St. Nicholas brings something good beneath your pillow during the night. I did not get anything, but that's good, because for bad children, I'm not the best one. It brings sticks so that parents can punish them. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I believe the world needs to know more about Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees. Thank you for telling me good words, becoming my patrons, and the inspiration that you give. Slava Ukraini!